You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Yes, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. This is, of course, a match preview. Tottenham entertain Liverpool. I'm here with the one and only Abbi Summers, a good friend of mine.
How you doing?
Yeah, good friend of mine who, I guess if people didn't know, we went to primary school together.
Well, you say this every time.
I know, but you haven't been on the channel for 2 years, probably.
Well, I was on the channel last year.
You know, keep it going.
Very nice.
Great to have you back with us. Make sure you smash that like button if you're looking forward to this one, the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. From a Tottenham perspective, you know, all jokes aside, I've been really impressed with the kind of different style. I said in another preview yesterday that people's thinking of what Tottenham maybe means, I'm not saying is changing, but it might have to change if Tottenham carry on winning games, playing the right style of football, getting big results. Now, obviously, we are only 6 games in, so how do you see it so far from your side without doing Abbi Summers and going well over the top?
Going over the top. I'm not going over the top. I'm just happy. And I think when you look at where Spurs were under Conte, under Jose, that's a brief little spell under Nuno, since Pochettino left, I think it's valid that Spurs fans are happy. It's good to have my team back. It's good to have Tottenham playing a style of football that is attractive and in a weird way like empowering for fans and the team to actually go and watch. And I've been really, really impressed. I think when we've had managers that come with, you know, big names or big expectation, it never works out. So for Ange, when, you know, it was decided that he was going to be the manager, I was okay about it. I wasn't like, oh my God, definitely
Were you
not.
underwhelmed at all?
No, I wasn't, because
Who did you really, if you could have picked?
I wanted Poch back.
Right.
I wanted Pochettino back.
Dodged a bullet.
But no, I think that if I'm taking off being, you know, cooking Matisse for a sec, like, you know, I know Poch is a great manager, and I think that if they were all fully fit, it wouldn't necessarily be the case. Do I think they were going to win something this season? No. But I think a young squad, that's exactly his bag. That's what you want. And I think with Spurs, Postecoglou is quite similar in that aspect, that he likes, you know, young talent. He wants to kind of bring them through. He's got that father figure feel about him.
Yep.
And when I look at the squad, they needed an arm around them. They really did. You know, Basuma, the player that came from Brighton, was a completely different player under Antonio Conte. The whole entire squad was completely derived of any confidence, any type of attitude to going and winning a game and, you know, playing the way that they want to play. It was all sucked out of them, all the life was. So I love Ange. I know it's a small sample size, as we keep saying, but 6 games in, it's not even about the points that are on the board for me. It's just about the way that we're playing football and turning up to games and approaching games and literally playing till the final whistle. And games against Sheffield, 1-0 down, it was typical. I could have seen that story and seen that script a million times. Heads go down, they don't get back into that game, but instead turned it around away at the Emirates. Awful record there, 1 win in 30. Very difficult for us to get anything. So not that we're acting like it was a win, because it definitely wasn't, but I think there are lots of positives to take from going twice, going 1-0 down, 2-0 down, and coming back from it.
No, for sure. I think the style has definitely impressed me so far. I think there were a couple of players that last season were on the fringes, if that, and they've come in to be almost like new signings. Yeah. Basuma, a perfect example of that.
Brilliant.
Sarr, brilliant as well so far this season. Had a great game against United. Impressed again at the Emirates. I thought maybe you could have nicked it.
I think you should have.
Maybe you could have. Really clinical kind of finishes from Son, who obviously is your main guy.
Madison's been exceptional.
Madison has been unbelievable as well. Just on Ange, I agree. I do think he is like that kind of father figure. I think maybe even you've been surprised by the amount of Arsenal fans saying, I can't hate this guy. I love him.
It's true.
He's like a mate down a pub.
It is. He is the type of guy that you genuinely just want to have a drink with.
I'd have a pint with him.
Yeah, you want to have a pint, you want to go over to him
for a
barbecue. He
because
seems like a great guy.
He said, I'd read everything. I was a massive Liverpool fan. I love Bill Shankly. I love the boot room stories. So he grew up watching Liverpool.
Shock you what to make about Liverpool.
So the question is, for you, I mean, it's a Liverpool channel and Liverpool preview. Are you worried at any point that he could maybe force... I mean, let's have it right. Klopp potentially signing a new deal. Touch wood, hope that happens. But do you think that he should have maybe admitted that? close to a Liverpool game?
I don't mind. I mean, we've had players that supported Arsenal. That's far worse for me.
Harry Kane.
And also having managers that are Chelsea, legends, that has also not gone down very well with Spurs. And it's one thing when you're winning games and, you can be like, all right, Conte, you see what he's done on paper and you kind of trust that. But I think it doesn't bother me that he supported Liverpool at all, in my own opinion.
Let us know what you think.
Doesn't
And
bother
Liverpool
me.
fans, we're asking you at home, what do you think of Ange's start? As a person, he's ticked every box so far. I think he's very personable. You saw what he did at the fan forum. Classy touch from the guy. And I think I heard Daniel Levy saying something like he tried the guarantee win manager formula with Mourinho and Conte. Didn't work. And this is, and the other thing I like about him, obviously he's going to get asked about trophies all the time. But his answer was fascinating. He said, if I can make the fans happy and get them behind the kind of style that we're looking to play him, that is success for me. And then obviously trophies follow, but
He's literally got us on the right side. I mean, the funny part about what you said with Levy then is that, potentially they could have worked had he have given them the correct budget, but that's a story.
Maybe that was his fault that they didn't work.
Most likely.
Yeah.
But with Ange, I think it's one of those things where, again, Levy's just got lucky like he did with Poch and eventually hit a jackpot with a manager that kind of gets involved with fans and is really personable and comes across so well and plays a great style of football. And don't get me wrong, I think us as Spurs fans have always said there's no expectation on this season. We didn't know how this was going to pan out, and obviously so far so good. But we are also aware that probably the form will dip. We're going to have players that go off to AFCON in terms of Basuma and Sarr. I'm pretty sure Sonny's also got to go to the Asia Cup as well, all around January time. And then the questions will be asked in terms of what happens next in the transfer market, because also if we get a few injuries, you're back to that midfield of Højbjerg,
For sure,
Skip.
yeah.
So on paper, as the first 11, I'm really loving what we're seeing. I think the signings we've made, Mickey van der Ven, another one that's just come in and just looks like a bit of a Rolls Royce in terms of, he gives me Jan and Toby vibes. I absolutely love him, and he's so young as well. Really
we
good
were
signing.
in for him.
Yeah,
we were after him,
really
and then
good.
I think we looked at what we've got in the freezer at home, and we said João Quansah is, the next guy to be that Nat Phillips kind of replacement, that fifth CB.
You've got to think about it from our perspective. We had Eric Dyer as a first choice.
He's still at the club, right?
He's still at the club.
And Lloris is still at the club.
Lloris is still
what
at
are
the
they
club.
doing though?
Don't want to take the.
I don't know. They're
the
big
payout.
servants of Tottenham.
They are,
to
but
see them kind of withering away is
well, I think
sad in a way.
It's not that sad. I think they should have been moved on time
Fair
ago.
enough.
But also Destiny Udogie as well, brilliant signing.
How do you pronounce it? That name? Udogie.
Udogie.
Because I saw Neville going Dogger.
Dogger.
I was like, I don't
Udogie.
think that's how you pronounce it, but
Udogie.
there you go. Right, let's get your thoughts on Liverpool. Great start to the season in every competition, scoring goals, conceding some as well, but I think we've won 7 or 6 games this season now with a 3-1 scoreline, which shows you, even if you do go ahead against Liverpool,
You've got the front line.
We've got the goals to punish you at the other end. What have you made of our start?
I think you've been good. I think you'd kind of turned it around anyway. When I look back at last season, obviously it wasn't the best season, but kind of that last stretch.
9 wins in the last 10 of that season.
From kind of March time, you really managed to turn it around. And I respect the way that you play. I think that we all needed and knew that you needed that new midfield.
Yeah,
Sorry.
for sure.
And I think Szoboszlai, brilliant signing. I mean, that goal against whoever you played
Leicester.
the other night. Leicester.
I was there. It was unbelievable. Mate.
Leicester. It was
a strike.
Brilliant goal. Obviously McAllister as well. You needed new legs and fresh legs in that midfield, because we could all see that was the biggest problem for you last season. And of course that front line. I mean, were you worried at any point Salah was going to go?
I think the hype of it and all the pundits weighing in saying he's got to go made me feel like he might. But then when the window closed, and their window closed in Saudi League, and then he just puts those rooms to the side by, I think he scored 4 and he's got 4 assists this season.
What about January though?
There's no way Liverpool sell him in January. There's just no way. It's literally impossible. Why would we do that? How is that benefiting us at all? And even I've been very, keen by saying that why not sign him for another 3 years? He's that good. He looks after himself so well that why not keep him till he's
Doesn't seem to
37?
be
And then he can
having-
go Saudi.
Well, yeah,
And then
well,
he
I
can go there
agree.
at 47 if you want.
I agree. I don't see why these players are in a rush to go to Saudi. Saudi's just getting started.
I think we know why. But Couple of stats for you before the game.
Of course,
you
he's
might
got
not, might not
stats.
like these.
Nope.
You did walk away from the table on DR Sports when I read out a Soberslide stat. So you're not gonna stand up? Are you gonna listen?
I might.
To
Depends what.
All right, we won't like this one. It's not crap. It's from Google. Tottenham have won just one of the last 21 Premier League games against Liverpool. That was the 4-1 win at Wembley in October 17. That actually helped us.
That was a massive turning point for
That
both of
helped
us.
us. Yeah, we
Massive turning point.
literally. I think we went 40 games undefeated after that.
Yeah,
so
you did.
shout out to you.
It was a huge turning point.
Liverpool have scored at least once in each of their last 15 Premier League games against Tottenham. However, they've only kept 2 clean sheets in that run. So a bit of hope there for Tottenham, with both sides finding the net in each of the last 6 meetings. So it's back and forth, it's up and down. Liverpool's current 17-game unbeaten streak in the Premier League is 10 games longer than any other sides since their last defeat in the competition back in April. Only Man City have won more top flight points than the Reds, which actually completely goes against Liverpool having such a bad season last year. Obviously, the middle part was awful, but like you said, from March, April till now, it's us and City that have been the best in the country. Tottenham will be looking to start a Premier League campaign with a 7-game unbeaten run for just the 3rd time ever, whilst Ange could become the second manager to go unbeaten in his first 7 Premier League games in charge of Spurs after Conte. And we all know how that one ended. Hopefully for Spurs fans, Ange is that guy to turn it around.
He is that guy.
You are confident about this game, Abby?
Yeah, I am confident. Do you know, and look, the stats don't lie. That is true, everything you've said.
Thank you.
But
beating the allegations.
What I would argue about these games, it's always very open, it's always very excitable, this game, and it's always a very good game. And I would say, just looking at previous years gone by, you've probably got quite lucky capitalising on our mistakes in some of them, for sure.
Isn't that your fault, though, for making
100%
mistakes?
100% our fault. Hold our hands up,
Fair
absolutely.
enough.
But I think that there are some games that we've played against you, whether it's at Anfield or at home, where we definitely could have got something out of it, whether or not a point or 3. I think we love to give you a head start, 100%.
Is this fixture cursed for you?
Well, no, I think every curse is meant to be broken.
Sure, but as we've just read out,
cursed?
for the last 7 years, it's been cursed.
Yeah, it is. But I tried just to think about how we're doing at the moment. And that's why, getting a point away at the Emirates and the performance that we put in, huge for Tottenham. I've seen us literally be awful and get spanked, So that's a very big turning point. And I think Liverpool's another one where we have had chances to either draw the game with you or win the game. And, we've let them go. Go back last season, the 4-3.
What a game. I'll actually say this. That was my favourite ever Premier League moment at Anfield that I've been to.
Was it because
Yeah, because when I saw him warming up, I said, he's going to score.
Yeah.
He's going to, because we were 3-0 up in 20 minutes, weren't we?
Yeah.
And then he scored, and then Jota scored, and it was just beautiful, wasn't it? But yeah, I'd agree. Tottenham... the stats sometimes do lie, because even though it's there, it's not as clear. It isn't as clear cut in terms of the actual fixture itself and the games. But they have not beaten us for 21 games, and that is not a lie.
No, that's not a lie.
For you.
That is not a lie. I think Harry Redknapp was maybe the last. Oh no, Harry Redknapp was.
Who was it? 2017. It would have been.
It was at Wembley.
Yeah.
Ericsson.
Remember, Lovren had a howler that game. We took him off half time.
First 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. You 2-0 up early. So yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to it. I agree. It's a very end-to-end dramatic, cards, goals.
Yeah.
Everything really happens. Tegan's first game ever that I took her to was that 2-2 Anfield when Kane missed that penalty, Salah scored. Unbelievable fixture, and there's been loads of drama, so you can't miss this one. I'm going to ask you this question now, and be careful what you say.
Why? Because I'm on Kop TV.
Because you're on the Kop TV, first of all. But we just did a video on DR Sports. You said that Tottenham would win this game by 2 clear goals.
Yeah.
Are you sticking with that? You think it's because let me just give you this. Obviously, we score goals.
Yes.
Score 3.
You also
mainly.
concede.
We also concede. Correct. I'll give you that as a stat that doesn't lie. But you said the firepower.
Yes.
If you're going to win by 2 clear goals, how many goals will we score?
Yeah. It's a fair point. Listen,
no, it's just a question. I want an answer.
I don't know how many.
Numerical answer, please.
My bet for this week on the betting app that we're doing on DR. Don't know if we can say it on here.
Well, probably not.
Probably not. So the betting app. I've gone for 2 clear goals. So I've gone for a 3-1 Tottenham win at home. I'm backing my team. However, there is part of me that sees this as a 2-2 draw.
How big is that part of you?
I'd say equal split down the middle.
So you've given me 2 score predictions. One's really confident and one's really conservative.
Yes. But I don't think there's a Spurs
But if you
loss.
mix them 2 together,
Then it's a Spurs win.
okay, fair enough.
Spurs
She's going
win.
for a Spurs win. Let us know how you feel in the comments. We are also reacting to news just over half an hour ago that Liverpool have accepted a minority stake from Dynasty Equity, right? The New York-based firm apparently bought 164 million stake in the club for sports investment. Now that I've seen from Chris Bascombe, that could mean that it's being used to pay off debt. It could mean that we're using it to pay off the rest of the stadium. I don't think Klopp gets that in a big chunk to spend. But as a club whose owners are also under scrutiny in terms of investing, has there been any change in terms of that, or are you just focusing on the good stuff on the pitch?
No change. My feelings are my feelings. There's no point of keep going over them. And I'm just enjoying, watching good football at the moment and just being able to go there and it not be a chore.
Fair play. Well, listen, it's going to be a great game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. When are you going to get a name for the stadium, proper name?
God knows. It's only been 4 years, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's only been 4 years. Yeah. Right, she's going for a Tottenham win. Somehow, 2 goals clear. Just a quick lineup prediction. Alisson will be in goal. I do think Trent comes back.
Yep. I
think Konate and Van Dijk and Robertson make up the back 5. And then in the midfield, I would start Endo. I was really impressed with him last night. Yeah. Super game. Again, someone to kind of go up against Basuma in that kind of destroyer role. Because we have obviously been playing McAllister a lot deeper. So I would go McAllister, Szoboszlai, who is lighting up the Premier League.
So good.
Unbelievable footballer so far. So that's my midfield. Endo does start, and then it's Diaz, Nunez, and Salah.
Beautiful finish from Nunez.
What a goal!
What a goal!
How are Spurs going to line up, and is Maddison fit for this one?
As far as I'm aware, Maddison is fit.
Is that taking a risk, or is he comfortable to play?
No, I think it's comfortably fit. I think it was more precautionary, but I think he felt good. Pretty much from what I've read. I think it will be pretty unchanged, to be fair. I think Vicario, who's also been great, want to give him his flowers, been very, very good in goal. A doggy. Porro also much improved from last season as well. Romero had a shocker the other day. But it's weird. It was a bit weird because he wasn't actually that bad. It just was... circumstantial, but his performance itself wasn't actually that bad. Van de Ven and Romero, and I think we'll see Sarr, Basuma, Maddison, Kulu.
Who's up top?
Son. And then what do we do out there? I really like Brennan Johnson as well.
On the left?
That's another one, yeah.
Okay. No Manor Solomon?
No, and do you know what? I don't mind him at all. It just needs to work on some end product. But not bad. But I think Brennan Johnson looks...
Well, let me give you my score prediction, right? I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. We continue the curse. We continue the hoodoo. Carrying on that unbeaten stretch from 2017. But I'm not saying, it's an easy... no games are easy if they're 2-1, right? But... this is not an easy game at all. It never has been, and it's always been super close. I think last year we won 2-1, 2 Mo Salah goals. Nice that Kane's not playing, if I'm honest, because he always scores against us. Consolations, normally. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm going for a Liverpool win. Abbi is going for a Tottenham win. We've both had great starts to the season, but somebody's O has got to go, as they say in boxing. Let's hope it's a fair but square fight. Abbi?
See you on Monday.
Top girl. Proper Spurs. And I'll see you on Monday because, we'll be back on DR Sports. Let us know what you think in the predictions below in the comments, and then make sure you go and follow Abbi as well if you haven't already. Take care. Up the Reds. It's like the firm, lads. Getting
like
battered, you lads.
Up the Spurs.
Like a fish in a shop, lads.
Getting battered. That was
Welsh.
That was so ridiculous.
So anyway, take care. All the best.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Please, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.